event. 6 cars will go to the feature, and the green flag is out. Everybody safely through turn number 1. They head down the backstretch at lightning fast speed, with the first 2 cars getting strung out from the rest of the field, and the leader of the first lap is John Stevenson, followed by Mike Brooks. Running in third position is Gary Lynch, but there's quite a separation between second place and third.
The first 2 cars really have opened up. Moving into third position appears to be Gary Lynch. As the pack comes off of turn number 4, no, it's Tim G that's moved into third. Gary Lynch runs fourth. Tim G, the Canadian driver, now runs in third position. He won the B main event at the Knoxville Nationals earlier this year.
There he is in car number 88, Tim G, running in third position. The leader of this race at the completion of 3 laps, John Stevenson. And Stevenson spins down in turn number 1. The leader of the race has spun out. That will bring out the yellow, and Larry just simply, it looks like, lost control. Perhaps the track a little bit slick in that area, because they did water it between the end of the third heat and the semi-B main here, and Stevenson looped it coming out of turn number 1.
Well, as you look at the shot, you can see how shiny the surface is, and I don't think it's wet. What it is a hot afternoon here in the middle of Missouri, and the track has gotten very hard and very dry, and the cars, the big tires they use in these sprint cars, have flattened this racing surface out to the point where it's become almost like concrete, and it's very slippery right on the top. Of course, yellow flag laps do not count on a World of Outlaws sprint car race. It'll be interesting now to see exactly whether or not Stevenson can move through the pack. It's going to be a tall order on this racetrack.
Number 65 car this afternoon, driven by Gary Lynch. Now, this car, you'll remember, was involved somewhat in that crash we had earlier in the first heat. He spun to avoid the melee out of turn number 4 and came to a rest up high against the outside wall. He did not hit the wall, but has made his way into the B main. Gary Lynch, driver of car 65X.
One of the nicest looking race cars you'll find anywhere in the country. Lynch is sort of an interesting guy. He started out running modifieds 5 years ago in Atascadero, California. In his rookie season, not only was he Rookie of the Year, but his car won the Owners' Championship for him. He won the Drivers' Championship, and to top it all off, he was even nominated as the Sportsman of the Year. But that was 5 years ago. Since that time, Gary Lynch has moved and opened a business up in Salem, Oregon. He summers in Tulsa, where he headquarters himself for his World of Outlaws sprint car activities.
All right, the restart order. Mike Brooks is the leader. Second place, Tim G. Third place belongs to Gary Lynch, and the fourth place driver is Bill Liebig. And problems here on the straightaway. At the drop of the green flag, everybody is okay, but one car, Roger Hurst, number 21, hit the outside wall and almost turned over. He kept it under control, though, and we're still under the green flag. Mike Brooks, car 7X, is the leader of the B main. The top 6 finishers will go to the feature, and Tim G, car number 88, is moving up quickly as they head down the backstretch.
As we watch the 2 leaders, Brooks and G, one of the hottest drivers in America, at least back home, Bill Liebig, runs in 4th position. There's Liebig, the second car in that shot we had of the front straightaway. There again is the leader, Mike Brooks, and Tim G is getting even more close now as we speak. Running in 3rd position, Gary Lynch, and in 4th, Bill Liebig. He's won 13 times in a row back home at Rapid City, South Dakota.
Into turn number 2, once again, it is Mike Brooks with car number 7X, leading Tim G down the backstretch. We have completed 6 laps, and Mike Brooks about to complete lap number 7. Here he is off of the 4th turn. Lap number 7 completed again. This is a 15-lap B main event. There you can see the interval between the leader Brooks and second place Tim G as they once again flash down the backstretch, and Mike Brooks broad sliding that car into the turn.
Mike Brooks, the corporate co-pilot. He also drives a truck for the company for which he works when he's not driving race cars. He is one of those American drivers who went to the land down under a couple of years ago as he puts a lap on Ken Harbison, one of the late entries here this weekend. Australia 2 years ago and won 6 main events down there.
Well, Brooks had a little bit of a problem getting around Harbison, but was able to do so as they went into the third turn. And now it's clear sailing for a while for Mike Brooks. Tim G, car number 88, still running in second position. And this will complete lap number 10. 10 laps completed. Mike Brooks, the leader, car 7X. He's coming up on the slower car of Ron Leholtz in the 20X.
Well, Leholtz from Overland Park, Kansas, stays right in the racing groove as he races for positions among some of the other drivers in the back. There is the number 65 of Gary Lynch, and Lynch is in trouble right in front of the number 39 of Terry Smith, and Terry Smith tips over on his side. The third and fourth place cars, Gary Lynch just losing it as he barreled into turn number 3, and Terry Smith, the Raytown, Missouri driver, the 1977 Rookie of the Year at the Lakeside Speedway, over in Kansas City with nowhere to go. Gary Lynch taking the helmet off and looking at fellow driver Terry Smith, who lies on his side. Terry's still strapped in, and they communicate just verbally, at least visually, as they look at each other.
Well, despite the fact it was a very slight tip over, they do bring out the red flag, and the B main has been halted. But this is the way it looked a few minutes ago as Lynch and Smith were battling for position coming down the backstretch and into turn number 3.
Well, you can see Lynch, the car just getting sideways on that really slick part of the racetrack, and Lynch just no way to avoid that. Gives him a pretty good drill right into the side. Lynch trying to get away from the number 65 of Lynch, but the cars are hooked up, and as they come down the embankment, gravity pulling on those 20-degree banks pulls over Terry Lynch's car, and you can see the aluminum wing, Terry Smith's car rather, you can see the aluminum wing just folding up a bit.
And so the other cars have been halted here on the main straightaway. The push trucks move out onto the racetrack to push them off when we get the all clear signal from the third turn, but the emergency crews do come out and make sure that there are no injuries involved in the accident over there. 9 laps have been completed, so we have 6 more laps to go, and I'm not so sure but what at least one of those cars will be able to go again. I don't think they had very much damage to either car.
Well, there you see the number 7X of Mike Brooks and the term Leonard Who on the back of the t-shirts, and I'm pretty confident they're talking about Leonard McCarl. Again, if you've been following sprint car racing for quite some time, you remember that Leonard McCarl was one of the top runners for quite a number of years, always running the familiar number 7, and now involved in the team of Mike Brooks.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to be removing those cars from the racetrack, and while they do that, we will take this break and be right back for more racing from I-70.
Show me a sign and take it to the limit. One more.
In Harbison, we have 4 more laps to go. Here is your leader once again in the third and fourth turns, Mike Brooks. Tim G still runs in second. The third place driver is Bill Liebig. Running fourth is Cliff Woodward. And in fifth position, the 80X driven by Todd Bishop. And then sixth, 81 T.J. Giddings. And those are the drivers that will transfer to the feature should the race end right now. But there's a lot of activity still going on in the back of the pack. That isn't necessarily the way it is for the lead, as Mike Brooks and Tim G are running fairly close together, but it looks like Brooks may be in control of this race as they head down the backstretch. Tim G now closes in just a bit as the white flag comes out, and we have 1 more lap to go. Brooks and G first and second. Third place, Bill Liebig. We'll watch this battle for the lead here and see if G can indeed do the job and go into the lead down the backstretch. Looks like he'll work to the inside, and Tim G is able to get around, and Tim G passes Mike Brooks on the final lap and wins the B main. Nice job of driving by that Canadian.
It really was. Bill Liebig came home in third position. The driver who's been doing so well at Rapid City, South Dakota, is coming home in fourth position, all unofficially. The Kearney, Missouri driver, Cliff Woodward. Fifth to the number 81 car of T.J. Giddings, and in sixth, the number 80X of Todd Bishop.
So a pass on the final lap as Tim G went around Mike Brooks in turns 3 and 4 and won the race. There is Brooks, 7X, who led all but the last lap of this B main and had to settle for second position. Nevertheless, we'll move into the feature race coming up in just a few